No, the sound is there. We're going to get started in 1 second. Let me I'm notifying my moderators right now. But everybody that's coming in, man, thank y'all so much for coming in. So the only thing that I ask for y'all to do is just man, tap the screen, put them hearts out, share it out, because we have so much to unpack on today. As y'all know that they I'm in TikTok jail until Thursday. you know, before we get started, listen. Last Thursday we was talking and um, man, we had like 800 people in the room on TikTok, and people got in their feelings. And I know what happened. I said something. No, it wasn't me. It was a video that was being played, and it triggered AI, and they took the live down. So that's going to be down until Thursday. I'm used to it. But y'all, listen. Just put the hearts out, man. Share this out. Let people know that your boy Great Vibes is live on YouTube. And also, if you know anybody's from Alice Army or the 90s Nation, let them know that I am live. So y'all just keep tapping the screen, all right? You said your TikTok was jacked a month ago. Yeah, they love jacking out TikToks. All right, all right. So let's do this. Um, I kind of like this too on YouTube. You can move some stuff around, and it's pretty dope. Watch this right here. Boom, yo, this is great. I'm gonna get used to this this YouTube stuff. All right, this your boy Great Vibes on 10 for the motherfucking win. Over here, we can talk a little bit more freely. We can be ourselves over here, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. But before we get started, like I said, I need y'all to share this out. Um, I don't know how to do it. I'm still learning how to do it over here on YouTube. But just let people know, Allie Carter, she mentioned my name last week because I called out her and Shelly. So they did. They went live and called me out. Now this right here was my question. All these other content creators that go out and they talk about or they try to expose Allie and Shelly, nobody never said nothing. Not once Shelly mentioned their name, they mentioned their platform. But because I bring actual receipts, right? Allie calls me out. She called me out. So that tells me that they're watching. And I'm saying something that's going completely against their narrative. The same narrative that they pushed for so long and have captured the minds of so many. And people have given, especially the older people. I like to call them Karens. They have given so much money. But we don't see any results. They talk about we're here for the children. Shelly, last time I checked, because I know y'all going to be watching this. Last time I checked, you're not allowed to be around children under the age of 18. Ain't, ain't that ain't that right, Shelly? Y'all wonder why they sit in the van, go live on Instagram, they go live on Facebook, they go live on X, all these different platforms. But they are feeding y'all the narrative that people are looking for them and people are chasing them and they have to always have their antennas up. But you always live. It's just to show you that they have zero knowledge when it comes to technology. Because when you go live, I can pull your IP address. Not me, but your IP address can be pulled to track it down to your location. if y'all was really running from the elite, right? You know, that's what y'all like to say. The elite is doing this to us. The elite is doing that to us. We got receipts, but you never show receipts. All that information that Allie and Shelly have put on these websites and put out there on these social media platforms, we took those and we broke it down on my platform on TikTok. Even people that used to believe the stories, they came in my platform, they came in on the live and they listened. That's the key element, and I want y'all to understand this. That's important to where when you listen to these videos, you have to listen to what they are saying. They got so many of you all just brainwashed to where they will say something and you will create this narrative in your own mind, this picture, this video, this movie, and you will believe it. Shelly have programmed Allie to put herself as a character in these movies. I hope y'all are understanding me. I don't find joy in doing this. And I want to make this clear. I don't find joy in doing this. But what you're not going to do, Tory Outlaw, you're not going to take other victims. You're not going to take their stories. Real victims, you're not going to take their stories as if that you was the main character in their stories. Because it make it so much harder for other real victims to come out and share their experience. It's millions of women out here now that will not come forward of how they was misused, how they was abused, and how they was moved through the system. They won't do it. Why? It's because we have people like you and people like Shelly, which is the programmer. Y'all got to understand how deep this goes. Shelly is Allie's programmer. This is why y'all see this way. This is why y'all see I have her degree up here. And this is part 2, by the way. Her degree, when it comes to psychology, where she worked, the kids that she took in, the building for the programmers to do the programming. And y'all believed it. Now, last week, when Allie called me out, just to let y'all know, I'm Steven Spencer. I'm the person she's talking about. When she called me out, she said, y'all look him up. Well, Allie, yes, tell all your followers to look me up. They're going to find me on TikTok, which is Great Vibes on 10 for the win. And they're going to find me over here on YouTube. I have a few videos over on Instagram, but I'm still trying to figure that shit out. Right? But on TikTok, that's where all of my main, players at. And I'm just getting started over here on YouTube, and I'm still trying to figure out this platform. But yeah, I'm here, okay? I'm talking. I'm bringing stuff for the people. The only thing that y'all are telling the people is we're going to show y'all later. Be on the lookout. You know how Allie looks when she talk. Be on the lookout. We're going to show you later. Be on the lookout. And you got Shelly in the background. Yeah, and the MK Ultra, we got to be careful when it comes to that, because children are being programmed, and Allie, she been programmed and she been through the system, and she was at the Diddy parties. Who was there at the Diddy parties? It was Denzel Washington. If y'all notice, when Allie really start talking about these stories, Shelly would narrate these stories. She would narrate them. She would narrate these stories, and she would ask open-ended questions. Also, if you notice, Shelly have a binder to where they take notes, and and Shelly will walk Allie through with what to say and how to say it, aka programming. She been doing this to Allie since she was 13 years old, and I want y'all to understand that. If you follow me on TikTok, you will see, man, we broke this shit down, and they didn't like it. So now Allie is calling me out because we are pointing through their bullshit. I haven't not, listen, after all these videos that I've watched of Allie, I have never heard her call out any other content creator. They would say, we have other content creators that go against the narrative, that talks about us, that don't want to have, that talks about, speak against the kids, all this stuff. But not once they have called out any other content creator by name but me. And I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad that happened. Because Allie, the little bees that you sent out to go, what they call to go fetch for different things to bring back to the hive, they brought back the right source. And now y'all are upset. Y'all are shaking and you're mad. So let me tell you what you did before we get started. Y'all, I'm just monologuing. Let me tell you what you did. You ready? Because the fire was starting to get so intense to where you had to bring an extra player on board. Who is this guy that's supposed to be adopting you? Don't worry about it. We'll get into that. I want y'all to pay attention to this right here before we get started. And I need y'all to listen to this very closely. All right? Listen to this very closely.
Ms. Rodas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, Chairman McClintock, Ranking Member Japal, and distinguished members of the committee. It is an honor to be here. I thank you for the invitation to share my testimony. My goal is to inspire action to safeguard the lives of migrant children, including the staggering 85,000 that are missing. Today, children will work overnight shifts at slaughterhouses, factories, restaurants to pay their debts to smugglers and traffickers. Today, children will be sold for sex. Today, children will call a hotline to report they are being abused, neglected, and trafficked, and we don't know if they're going to get the help they need. For nearly a decade, unaccompanied children have been suffering in the shadows, and I have to confess I knew nothing about their suffering until 2021, when I volunteered to help the Biden administration with the crisis at the southern border. As part of Operation Artemis, I was deployed to the Pomona Fairplex Emergency Intake Site in California to help HHS, Office of Refugee Resettlement, reunite children with sponsors in the United States. I thought I was going to help place children in loving homes. Instead, I discovered that children are being trafficked through a sophisticated network that begins with recruiting in home country, smuggling to the U.S. border, and ends when ORR delivers a child to a sponsor. Some sponsors are criminals and traffickers and members of transnational criminal organizations. Some sponsors view children as commodities and assets to be used for earning income. This is why we are witnessing an explosion of labor trafficking. Now, whether it's intentional or not, it could be argued that the United States government has become the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation that is run by bad actors seeking to profit off of the lives of children. As for me, my interest is the safety of the children. I do not view this as a political issue. I view this as a humanitarian issue. I assure you, my motives are the highest and best. I want the children protected. So I want to tell you some of what I witnessed personally at the Pomona Fairplex. I saw vulnerable indigenous children from Guatemala who speak Mayan dialects and cannot speak Spanish. That means they cannot ask for help in English, they cannot ask for help in Spanish. They become captives of their sponsors. I have sat with case managers as they've cried to tell me the horror of what has happened to children as they make the journey to this country. I saw apartment buildings where 20, 30, and 40 unaccompanied minors have been released. I saw sponsors trying to simultaneously sponsor children from multiple ORR sites at one time. I saw sponsors using multiple addresses to obtain sponsorships of children. And I saw numerous cases of children in debt bondage, and the child knew they had to stay with the sponsor until the debt was paid. Realizing that we were not offering the children the American dream, but instead putting them in modern-day slavery with wicked overlords was a terrible revelation. A terrible revelation. These children are a captive victim population with no access to law enforcement or knowledge of their rights. They are extorted, abused, neglected, and that is why I blew the whistle in 2021. I witnessed firsthand the horrors of child trafficking and exploitation. My life will never be the same after what I saw, but I have hope because I'm counting on you. It's my hope that you'll take action to end this crisis, to safeguard the lives of these vulnerable children. People have asked me, what can be done? What would you suggest? Well, first, I think HHS's #1 priority is oversight. They must commit to oversight, transparency, and accountability. If I could wave a magic wand, this, I believe, could be quickly solved by experts in the IG community. There is a Pandemic Analytics Center of Excellence, or the PACE, as we call it. I believe if data analysts at the PACE could look at the data, children could be rescued, criminals could be prosecuted. If the PACE had access to this data, it shows where the children are and who has them. I think also we need to change the culture of speed over safety. Speed is the wrong performance measure when dealing with children. We need to revamp the vetting process of sponsors and have case managers who have investigative backgrounds, data analytics backgrounds, some certified fraud examiners. And I think we need to reimagine a system where the sponsor is the accountable party. Sponsors should be required to report to ORR. And lastly, stop retaliating against whistleblowers. Stop retaliating against the people who are trying to tell the truth to save the children. As it is written, a wise man listens to advice, while a fool continues in his folly, and HHS needs to be wise to care for these children.
All right, so we've heard, right? We heard what she said. Let's do a very quick education, right? A little knowledge on when you hear the Allie talks about, well, what are the children? They always say people are focused on the wrong thing. What about the children? What about the children? What about the children? Well, as you just heard, okay? Children that and I'm talking about the majority, and we're speaking over 90% of children that's being trafficked through this country. They are not from here. I'm gonna say, listen. They are not from here. Do y'all understand me? They are from other countries, pulled from their parents as babies. They don't have the English dialect. They don't need it. When you have different sponsors that will take in these children and raise them up the way you need them to be, no paperwork, no social security number, no type of identity on these children, it's easier to move these children around, allegedly. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You're not hearing Allie or Shelly speak about this. You're not going to hear them speak about this because they sit on the internet all day long and listen to other people's stories. And Shelly would put Allie, one of her alters, as one of the main characters in these stories. Most of these kids don't speak English. They are moved around and you don't even know it. They are not from here. Now, it's different ways to be sex trafficked and different things like that. But I'm speaking on the stories where Allie put out saying that she was in shipping containers. She was shipped off to Russia, right? She was moved around across the border. She got married at the age of 15, got married again at the age of 19. But she don't speak on these husbands. We're going to get into that later, all right? Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat. We only got 12 people here, y'all. It's fine. YouTube is going to push it, sooner or later. LA, y'all, let me tell y'all something about this young lady that just popped in. Blessings, great vibes. I just put the memo out on on TikTok to let my TikTok followers know that I'm over here on YouTube Live, okay? So they are slowly coming in. LA has been a great supporter of my TikTok channel. She's one of the top gifters. If I was out here spreading some bullshit, people would not follow my channel. They would not take time out to do the necessary research and bring me the information and say, great vibes, look at this. Check this out. Now, great vibes on this one, you was pretty wrong. So I would look at the information, do contrast and comparison. Damn, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Let me revamp this and clean this up. I would do that. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm never too grown because I'm 41. I'm never too grown to admit when I'm wrong. That's why a lot of times, a lot of you all y'all are in situations now to where you cannot grow mentally, spiritually, and or financially. It's because you know the answer to everything and can nobody tell your ass nothing. When you get to that point in life, you have failed. You should go somewhere, hide up under a rock, and leave life alone. Leave people alone. Don't even have children. Because you, my dear, you, sir, y'all are dangerous people to be around. That's what we're dealing with here. Y'all hear me? I'm going to play this video. And I want y'all to listen to this video very carefully. And drop in the comments and tell me what y'all think about this one. All right? Hold on. Let me rewind it.
I was sold to Joe Biden multiple times. I went from the Buckingham Palace to under the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, and everybody is so worried about the elite, and we could give those names of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. We know about Michelle Obama, that's a man. We know about Too Short. We know about Akon and Steven Tyler, and we can give those names all day, and everybody is so worried about that, but what you should be worried about is the people that are in between, the people that go as low as your grave diggers. I was trafficked to people within my schools. I was trafficked in underground tunnels that link under your schools, through your cemeteries, under your amusement parks, through Universal Studios, and into Hollywood elite homes all over the place, all over the world.
So the names that you just mentioned, Barack Obama, Steven Tyler, Joe Biden, Michelle Obama, have you had personal sexual experiences with these people?
Yes.
These people participated in sex abuse firsthand with you?
Yes.
Can you tell that story? Because that's important for people to understand and to know. And to this point, I don't think a national platform has given you the opportunity to say those things.
No, because everybody is complicit. It is covered up by your local FBI. It is covered up by your local police department.
We're going to let that sit for a minute.
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
Y'all, let's use some critical thinking here. And please, let's do this. Let's just say if. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Tanya, how you doing? LA, thank you so much. Dina G, God damn it. Oh God.
Bruh.
Ajidina, what?
Bruh.
Gina D, God damn it. What is your name? Good to see you. Okay. Who else? Andrew, thank you so much for coming in. Put it on the table. I don't know what the hell that means.
Bruh.
Put it on the table.
Bruh.
What you want on the table?
Bruh.
You ain't talking about food.
Bruh.
You talking about other types of food.
Bruh.
Put it on the table. Sparkle, thanks so much for coming in. Natalie, thanks so much for coming in. Listen, thank y'all so much for coming in. Tamaria, thank you so much for coming in. You said Key Dina. God damn it. Key Dina, thank you so much for coming to Great Vibes on 10 for the motherfucking win. All right. Well, you knew now here is Southern. Listen, I'm a Southern guy. I'm here in the South. My language is different, all right? My English is fucked up. My English is fucked, all right? All right, let's continue. So y'all heard Allie clearly states that she was had sexual contact, allegedly, with Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Joe Biden.
Bruh.
I'm not saying she's lying, okay? Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you, LA. Listen, I'm not saying that she's lying. But, Allie, let me ask you a question. What age did this take place? If you said that you was trafficked by President Obama, allegedly, President Joe Biden, allegedly, Michelle Obama, that you call Michael, allegedly, how did you get into the White House?
Bruh.
I'm asking questions. Feel free to answer these questions in the chat. Chat, let me ask y'all. Maybe y'all can help me out. Because we're going to take our time with this one because I got so many to show you all. We're going to take our times with this one. How in the hell was she able to get inside the White House? Because the last time I checked, before you get even close to any type of presidents, don't you have to have top secret service clearance? Don't you got to have top level security clearance to get into the White House? And that's nowhere near the president. And I'm not talking about doing a public tour. No. I ain't talking about those quarters. You said you was with them sexually. Just in case you didn't get it. Alec, I know you watching. We're going to play this again so we can unfog your memory.
Multiple times.
Hold on. Wait.
I was sold to Joe Biden multiple times.
You were sold.
I went from the Buckingham Palace to under the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. And everybody is so worried about the elite. And we could give those names of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. We know about Michelle Obama. That's a man. We know about Too Short. We know about Akon and Steven Tyler. And we can give those names all day. And everybody is so worried about that. But what you should be worried about is the people that are in between, the people that go as low as your grave diggers. I was trafficked to people within my schools. I was trafficked in underground tunnels that link under your schools, through your cemeteries, under your amusement parks, through Universal Studios, and into Hollywood elite homes all over the place, all over the world.
So the names that you just mentioned, Barack Obama, Steven Tyler, Joe Biden, Michelle Obama, have you had personal sexual experiences with these people?
Yes.
Y'all mad at Great Vibes for playing these videos. The Alice Army and the 90s Nation, all these Karens, because over 99% of their followers are women, older aged women, okay? Let me do this. Over 99% of their followers are middle to upper elderly class women that sit in their living room, that sit in their old people homes, look at these videos and are gullible to these videos, saying, I cannot believe this happened to this young woman. But none of y'all asses took the time out to say, you know what? Let me do some research here. Let me do some motherfucking research. But now you got your boy Great Vibes on 10 for the motherfucking win. I'm taking these videos and putting them side by side. You don't like it. Now y'all calling me out. Keep calling me out. I enjoy it. Let's continue. I'm going to give you something to call me out about. So for everybody that's coming in, let me give y'all a tour of what's going on with the screen here. Right above me, this house, it's not a residential home. This is the building that Shelley used to take in runaway kids, people that have been sexually abused, things like that. Okay? This is the building she had Allie in, right here. Over here is her LinkedIn account where she was a mental health person, I guess a caretaker, something like that. This is her degree in psychology. And all the way over is her articles that she filed with the state of California to open up this business right here. This is just the start. Now I'm going to say this before we continue. Why is she no longer part of this business? 2, why don't you ever see Shelley around children under the age of 18? The same kids that they talk about were the children. Why don't you see her or Allie around these kids? You just hang on, because you're going to find out. I want y'all to pay attention to this interview that Allie did some years back from this guy, all the way over somewhere in China, Singapore, I don't know. When you're dealing with a person that's seeking answers, to do a proper interview, you ask the person questions and you allow them to answer, right? And how they answer is how you set up your next question. This guy that they used, he asked the question and he just let her talk. It's no, hold on. Well, what about this? What about that? What age did this happen? What age did that happen? Who are you around? Who are you in the custody of? None of this stuff. He just let her talk. Listen up. Folks be so damn gullible. Where's my damn screen? I got 5 screens going on here. Let me find the damn video. Shit. Here it is.
Thanks so much for coming. Before we get started, I just want to make
Thanks for
sure
having me.
our audience knows your background a little bit. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. The short story is a little hard, but my name's Allie. I'm 27 years old. CPS reports, Child Protective Services reports, say that I was 3 months old when things started happening for me. Sexual assault, verbal, physical abuse. But I remember as far as 4 years old, throughout my childhood, I was abused sexually, physically, emotionally, mentally. I never seen anything wrong with it because it was something that was always happening within the family. So I never knew that there was something wrong. And about 12 or 13 or so, my biological mother, I call her my
Let me pause the video because LA, something wrong with her. Yes, it's about to get gooder. Why the hell you put that in the comments? He sound like the guy who calls me about my car warranty.
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
Oh shit. Holla, oh please, people just saying that about her now. She's picking that up. Oh please. Yeah. See, this is why I'm glad, right? That people are starting to use critical thinking. They are starting to listen to the videos very closely and do comparison and contrasting, right? And then you see what you do, right? That's why on my TikTok account I have so many videos uploaded so y'all can take those videos and do y'all own homework. But you have people, if y'all go back on my TikTok account, even here on YouTube, look at the comments. You have people pissed off at me for playing these videos. But last time I checked, this is public. Anytime you put something on social media, it's available to the public. Sometimes I will put some bullshit out here, and I'll be like, damn, I said that? It is what it is. But I'm not finna lie that I was beaten and taken down through some damn tunnels and having sex with presidents. And I was at the Diddy parties. And I was over in Russia. And I was across the border. And I watched Tupac Shakur unalive these guys out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. Because Tupac is my father. Come on, man.
surrogate. She started dating every means of authority in my life. Chief of police, my school counselors, my school campus supervisors, my doctors. It turned to the point where her boyfriends and the people that she had around her were always abusing me. I was one out of 6 children, all girls. And for me, my sisters around me used to say that my family loved me more. They always loved me more. And I didn't understand what that meant. We all lived a abusive life in the same house, a different abusive life in the same house. But for me, I was being drugged and put in her bed at night for her boyfriends to sexually assault me. This was always within the family. So eventually, 12 or 13, I really got sick, being abused in my own closets at night, and the pain, and then being physically beaten by her because she felt like her boyfriends were paying more attention to me. So then I started running. I started trying to kill myself. I didn't want to die. I just wanted the pain to stop. So I tried many different things, and then eventually that landed me in a mental hospital for a month, not to mention being in the hospital for some time because of everything that was done. After that, I was put into foster care. After foster care and being...
Now, I want y'all to pay attention, and I hope y'all are following me. Are y'all following me? Put a 1 in the chat. If everybody is following me, put a 1 in the chat. Because now, listen to what she just said. She said that she was being abused at home, allegedly. She ran away, but listen, she said she ran to a mental hospital. Let me get on camera. Let me get my black ass on camera. Listen. This is the iconic moment of this live. I ran to a mental hospital. Ellie, why did you run to the police? Why did you run to a family member's house? Why did you run to a friend's house? Why did you run to a local hospital to see if you was okay? You ran to a mental hospital. Y'all, do that sound fishy or what? Did y'all think about that? Did y'all hear that? Mental. Shelly Carter, degree in psychology. She opened up a home for runaway people like Ellie. And she put on her LinkedIn account, she's a mental health care personnel or person that helps out people that's mentally ill. Are y'all following me? She ran away from home because of how Shelly been in her life since 13. And she been setting this up the whole time. Shelly have been getting Ellie to lie on her parents so she can get full access to Ellie. So when she ran away from home at 15 and a half, she ran into Shelly's arms, into her facility. Are y'all understanding now? Are y'all understanding now? Okay. You said grapevines. Aren't you former military? Why people ask me if I'm former military? My sister and her husband, they just retired from the forces. Shout outs to them. I'm prior law enforcement. So I kind of know how this stuff works. If I was still in law enforcement, I could not talk to you all like this. All right? I would have to get in front of several different boards, the brass chain command, and explain why the fuck I'm talking this and speaking this language. But because of different opportunities presented itself, I'm no longer in law enforcement. Okay? I did that for resume purposes, right? And I needed that training so I could understand the mindset of police officers. And I did it for 8 years. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. All right? Now, so when y'all hear me calling bullshit, calling shit out, and actually telling y'all how the system works, I'm not just talking just to be talking. I'm talking because I know. All right? Tanya said, holla, they are getting paid from people on YouTube too. Now I see that y'all are starting to pay attention. Y'all are starting to catch up on what's going on here. All right? That's why I played the video. On lost my train of thought. Let me read what Pink said. I would like for you to cover what's happening now. Who gives about it? That's what I'm asking. Oh, what's going on now? I'm looking at what's going on now. I'm kind of in the background right now, and I'm grabbing stories. Okay, I'm going to go live on that. What's going on between Iran and Iraq, and Iran and Israel and the United States involvement with that. I'm going to talk about that later. Let me gather all the evidence first before I say something about it. All right? I see what's going on, but let me gather the information first. All right? All right, let's continue.
In government custody, I thought that everything would slow down. I thought it would be okay, but it just continued. I didn't know what I was into. I didn't know as a kid what was happening. I just knew that some people knew me before I knew them or knew of them, and I didn't know why. In foster care, I started talking to someone who I thought I met online. A few people that I thought I met on my own, they already knew of me. Something always happened. And again, I never knew why. I always thought this was something normal. This is my fault. This is the way things work for me. I moved so many times from foster home to foster home because of situations that happened within the home. I went to 19 high schools in 1 year in my time in foster care. I graduated from my 19th high school. I was moved so much. Nobody ever did anything. Child Protective Services, my social workers, they knew about what was happening, but they never stopped it. They wrote it into the reports. They would just.
So she just explained her life, y'all. And the reason why I'm still covering Allie is because I got to get this stuff out before I continue to the next topic, okay? I need y'all to understand this, all right? I don't like to start something and stop halfway through it. She said that she covered her life from 3 months all the way up through graduate from out of high school. But did she not say in this video right here, did she not say in this video right here,
I was sold to Joe Biden multiple times. I went from the Buckingham Palace to under the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. And everybody is so worried about the elite. And we could give those names of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. We know about Michelle Obama, that's a man. We know about Too Short. We know about Akon and Steven Tyler. And we can give those names all day. And everybody is so worried about that. But what you should be worried about is the people that are in between, the people that go as low as your grave diggers. I was trafficked to people within my schools. I was trafficked in underground tunnels that link under your schools, through your cemeteries, under your amusement parks, through Universal Studios, and into Hollywood elite homes all over the place, all over the world.
So the names that you just mentioned, Barack Obama, Steven Tyler, Joe Biden, Michelle Obama, have you had personal sexual experiences with these people?
Yes.
did she not tell the Asian guy what happened with her between 3 months all the way up until she graduated from out of high school, allegedly? But she told this guy that she was trafficked through underground tunnels. Hold on, let me get rid of this. She was trafficked through underground tunnels, Getty's museums, the schools, all this stuff. My question is, when did this happen? Are y'all understanding now? Okay, let's continue.
Dismiss things. And prior to that, because of who my biological family was, I do not know the truth of who I belong to. I don't have any pictures of myself as a baby. I don't know what the truth is. I was being placed back and forth within the family, so I don't know who was really who. But everybody was scared of my prior last name. So no one wanted to investigate. No one wanted to dig too deep. Law enforcement knew. At one point, my bio mother was beating us. She was recording sexual assault, and she was recording. She would pour Benadryl. She would pour cleaning agents. She would pour milk down my sister's throat, who was allergic to milk because of her medical disability. And she would watch her throw up, and she would record it. And she had these tapes in the back of her closet. Now, legally, this was documented and everybody knew about it, but nobody wanted to do anything because who was buying these tapes? And then finally, 15 and a half, I was auctioned to Russia by my pimp. I knew that if I...
Let me get back on camera. Here we go. Here we go. In the first breath, she just said 3 months all the way until she ran away from home at 15. Are y'all following me? She ran away from home at 15, and then she ran to the mental hospital. Did she not say that? Now, in the same video, she just said she was auctioned off to Russia at 15. But I'm wrong for pointing this out. Okay. All right. Great vibes from y'all want to call me out. Okay. All right. Let's continue.
I took off with this man that brought me, I would never come back. So I ran. I hid for a year. Child Protective Services still collected money for me. They did nothing about it. And then eventually I came back into the system because I was so scared of everything that was going on. I needed help. I didn't know which way to go. So
how you can run as, God damn it, as a person that's in the system when it comes to the foster system. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that we have the perfect foster system. No, our foster system is jacked. It's fucked, okay? It's jacked. You mean to tell me you can run away from the system and back in the system at any given time, whenever you feel like, without anybody doing the proper investigation to see exactly what's going on with this person or persons that's in their system, that they are in charge over this particular case? Make it make sense.
Came back into the system and it all started again. And then by 1920, I'm sorry if I don't get it exactly right, I'm really stressed out.
No, you ain't stressed out. You ain't stressed out. You trying to keep a lie together. Hell, you listen, your lies are all, Shelley has taught you, boy, your lies are all over the place to where you can't keep up with your own lies. I'm not going off on Allie, Tory Outlaw. I'm not going off on her. I'm attacking the narrative. The stories that was put out that fed the minds of thousands of people. And y'all dumbasses took this crap as if that these events actually took place in this young lady's life. My first question, when I stopped talking about her and I started talking about other events that was going on, the only reason why I stopped is because, okay, let me get on camera. I said, okay, I want y'all to see me. I said, all right, the Diddy trial is about to start. Back in November, early December, the feds already had 35 witnesses. And we're not talking about the people that was going over to the Busby law firm and trying to do civil lawsuits. We're not talking about them. We're talking about our federal government already had 35 witnesses. I said, I'm going to wait till the trial starts. Since this is the last week of the trial, the last week, you said you was used as a party favor at the Diddy parties.
Bruh.
Okay. All right. Let's continue.
1920, I was adopted. I'm adopted. She adopted me as an adult.
Wait a minute.
And
Hold on. Whoa,
things
whoa.
didn't stop from there.
Whoa.
But I was adopted.
Hold on.
I'm adopted. 1920. I'm sorry if I don't get it exactly right. I'm really stressed out. 1920. I was adopted. I'm adopted. She adopted me as an adult, and things didn't stop from there. But it took a minute, and then here we are. And it's just it's always.
So what do she mean things didn't stop from there? What do she mean things didn't stop from there? Southern Mother, good to see you. You said, thank you for the super chat. If that was true, she'll be a witness. That is absolutely facts. She will be a witness in the Diddy trial, just like Cassie was a witness.
Bruh.
She will be a star player because she went out on the internet and told people that she was a party favor at the Diddy parties. Now you got some other little cuckoo guy. You can find the video on my TikTok where now he said that he was there with Allie and he saw her and he was going to a room to see what was going on inside the room, but he was intercepted by Diddy and nothing happened. Y'all making great vibes work. So y'all just heard her say, after she got adopted, allegedly, these events kept going on. So you mean to tell me, Ellie, when you got with Shelly, you were still passed around at these Diddy parties and being shipped over to Russia and being in these containers? These are your words, not mine. Okay. All right. Let's continue.
Continued. We've had people break into our house. When they find me again, I've tried to blend in, I've tried to hide, and people have, which is why we're on the road now. We've been on the road for 16 months straight because we had a situation where we still pay rent and we still have a home in California, but we can't go back there right now because it's not safe. We had someone who broke into the home. We have someone who has killed our animals. I've been poisoned and spent 40 days in the hospital after they found me again when I told them no.
So much stuff to break down. Somebody broke in your home. Because in a video that you dropped last week, you said that the Black Panthers and me, allegedly, you said that I was working with the Black Panther Party and your mother, your biological mother, to talk about these lies. But Allie, ain't this you in the video? That's let me see. Hey, sorry, right here. Allie, is this you? It's not AI. Is this you? Oh, okay, it is you. You mad at me for replaying your videos? So somebody broke in your house at the age of 19, killed the animals, poisoned you, that had you in a hospital for a few weeks. No. It wasn't the fact that possibility you could have been pregnant, allegedly. It wasn't that. Maybe it was the stuff that Shelly is feeding you that I can't say. That when the police pulled y'all over, that they found inside of your van. Allegedly. But it's always somebody. But you are never clear with your answers. Because people are out to unalive you. Make it make sense.
We've had someone break into the house and thrash and trash the house but not take anything just to let us know that they were there. It's been back and forth. And then because I said something about a chief of police, we have been pulled over in 8 different states back to back. Last year, it was February 20th, February 21st, February 22nd, from state to state without a ticket, without any law.
Allie, the video that we showed on TikTok when y'all got pulled over by the police up in Michigan State, y'all initiated that. Y'all got out talking crazy. Y'all was cussing at the police. Y'all was doing all this stuff, but y'all like to play victim. As if somebody hired somebody from the police department to track y'all down in every single state. Ma'am, newsflash. Police officers don't know one. Let me get on camera again. I got to get off camera because I'm vaping. Allie, let me give you a flash. Did you know most police officers, they don't know one another? Even the same ones that's in the same states, in the same city, they will get moved from one precinct to the next, and they be like, "Who are y'all?" One police officer can see another police officer in the store and wouldn't know who that guy is or who that person is. So y'all are driving around the country because y'all know that all the police officers are working together to do something to you and Shelly and to get information from you all. Shelly, congratulations. You have masterly manipulated the mindset of this woman.
They just pull us over, harass, and want to know, where's your car parked? How long will you be gone? What are you doing? And we haven't gotten a ticket. There was nothing because of that. It was just they were wanting to let us know that they were there. So it's been a lot. And when I say they, I know people are like, who is they? I have been trafficked, unfortunately, sold, and had to be with people from many different types of rings: doctors, lawyers, judges, attorneys, elite, politicians.
Allie, when and what age did this happen? This is the question everybody wants to know. You got so much information because we just caught you in 2 different lies. What age? Who were you with? Who let you go? Who you was around? Was it cold outside? Was it hot outside? Anything would help. You said this, don't forget it, about the Scooby-Doo backpack. What do Great Vibes know? Southern said if any of this was true, she'll have a Lifetime movie. Lifetime need to pick her ass up quick. Because now they're talking about going off the map. Now they're talking about going off the radar. They finna disappear in a few months because she's finna get adopted again. I never known nobody to get adopted so many damn times. Legally. This boy. No, Allie, the reason why y'all are leaving is because we are starting to expose y'all. Time is up from stealing other people's money. Shelly. The king person, the kingpin that's behind this.
Elite accountants, elite celebrities, 2 sitting presidents. Things have just never stopped. So I learned to try to blend, because when I tried to go to therapists or take into psychologists, people find out about MK Ultra programming and what I've been through, and they want to experiment on me. And that's not going to help. I just want to.
Allie, yeah, I'm sorry to keep stopping the video, but it's keep getting gooder. Allie. 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 Allie, young lady. Let me get on camera. Allie, ma'am, You know how you learn MK Ultra? Get closer to the camera because I know y'all watching. Do you know how you've learned MK Ultra and the inner workings of MK Ultra and who's all involved? You want to know? It wasn't the fact that you went through these people and talked to these people. Your handler, Shelly Carter, Shelly Carter, I do apologize. She's been sitting right there next to you the whole meanwhile, teaching you about MK Ultra. Because every time when you hear Shelly speaking, and we're going to get to that, she talks about MK Ultra. Says a person that has a degree in psychology. Oh, okay.
Be, and I just want to be free, and I just want to have peace. I don't want anybody's money or anything more than that. I just want to be.
Well, yeah, that's horrible. You said something about your prior last name. Do you know what it is?
Mhm. Outlaw.
Outlaw. Yeah.
My name before was Tori Outlaw.
Okay. Maybe we can find out about something. Do you have a guess why they're afraid of it?
Well, uh, my biological mother, whatever anybody wants to call her, she was involved with the Black Panthers. She was involved with many deep satanic things. So was the whole family. There's a history within the family, and I don't know how deep that goes. I never knew. I still don't know how deep that goes. But everybody was scared, intimidated, and knew not to push any further. And I don't know why. No one's ever helped with the things that have already been put out there, documented. And like I said, I was one out of 6 girls. So it didn't. There was things that didn't just happen to me. They happened to other kids that were within the home. So it just didn't make any sense. But I was taken out of the home and put in foster care.
So the police were well aware of the people who have power. When they see your last name, they know who they are and what they've been doing for a long time.
She just contradicted herself again. She just said in this breath she was taken out of her home and put into foster care. But she just said about 5 minutes ago, when she left home, she was trafficked to Russia.
Bruh.
If y'all are enjoying this, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all are enjoying this, put a 1 in the chat right now. And for everybody that's coming in, thank you so much for coming in. If you all enjoying this, put a 1 in the chat. If you like great vibes, just stop, leave it alone. Put a 2 in the chat. Down, 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 gloom, 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 glue, glue, gloom, 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 gloom. Oh man. All right, let's continue. That's sad. Only 2 people responded. All right, that's fine. 3 people responded. That's fine. Let's go.
Time. This child sex trafficking thing has obviously been going on for a long time. And you also have mentioned that they went as far as building underground tunnels and underground cities all over the world to traffic children, right?
Yes.
And there were like millions of people being trafficked, maybe more. A lot of them are kids. So do you know why are they so obsessed with kids? What do they get from torturing, eating, and raping babies?
Money, power. It's not just about children. There's layers of trafficking. There is sex trafficking. There is labor trafficking. For a drug shipment, you can sell a drug shipment 1 or 2 times until you run out of drugs. But for children and for people, you can sell them until there's literally nothing left of their bodies. After you sell them for human sex trafficking, you can use their empty bodies after they take out all their organs and they put those on the black market. So if you need a heart or a kidney or something like that from the hospital, these are taken from victims. There's the joke of, if I go to Mexico or somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, I can get a heart for cheap. And those are victims' organs. Once you die, your body is put on ice and they gut you and they take out organs. I'm talking about 5-year-old babies. I'm talking about adults. They take your organs, they put them on the black market. So this is another source of trafficking, and the human sex traffickers work with the organ traffickers. From there, they can use your empty body as a suitcase to
Shout out from the M Town. Shout out from the 901. Shout out Amy Williams. Thank you so much for your support. 901, baby. Don't worry about it.
They will put you in hearses. They will use your body to stuff drugs and carry them over the border because no one is looking at dead bodies. After that, they use, some people have really sick fetishes. Some people have fetishes about having sex with dead bodies, having sex with in the mix of people's limbs, having sex in pools of blood. So they will use your dead body for things like that as
Okay, let my black ass get back on camera. Let me explain to y'all what's going on here. All right? Shout out to the 901. Don't worry about it. All right, listen. I'm going to ask y'all a question. I done the research already. What movie is she's referring to? That's question number 1. Do this go on in the black market? Yeah, it does. It really do. As y'all learned, y'all, I got to do this. I'm sorry. I have to do this. Don't get mad at me. I have to do it. If you get mad at me, your mama eat nails and your daddy be sitting on your mama face and she be and she be licking his booty hole. Oh, that was funny to me. If you get mad at me, but I want y'all to understand something. What Allie is trying to say. If you was here at the beginning, you know exactly what I'm about to play. But I gotta play it again.
Ms. Rodas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, Chairman McClintock, Ranking Member Japal, and distinguished members of the committee. It is an honor to be here. I thank you for the invitation to share my testimony. My goal is to inspire action to safeguard the lives of migrant children, including the staggering 85,000.
Now, y'all, this is for educational purposes only, okay? This is for educational purposes only. Amy said, he's so hostile. I know, Amy. I'm going to get better.
That are missing. Today, children will work overnight shifts at slaughterhouses, factories, restaurants to pay their debts to smugglers and traffickers. Today, children will be sold for sex. Today, children will call a hotline to report they are being abused, neglected, and trafficked. And we don't know if they're going to get the help they need. For nearly a decade, unaccompanied children have been suffering in the shadows. And I have to confess, I knew nothing about their suffering until 2021, when I volunteered to help the Biden administration with the crisis at the southern border. As part of Operation Artemis, I was deployed to the Pomona Fairplex Emergency Intake Site in California to help HHS, Office of Refugee Resettlement, reunite children with sponsors in the United States. I thought I was going to help place children in loving homes. Instead, I discovered that children are being trafficked through a sophisticated network that begins with recruiting in home country, smuggling to the U.S. border, and ends when ORR delivers a child to a sponsor. Some sponsors are criminals and traffickers and members of transnational criminal organizations. Some sponsors view children as commodities and assets to be used for earning income. This is why we are witnessing an explosion of labor trafficking. Now, whether it's intentional or not, it could be argued that the United States government has become the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation that is run by bad actors seeking to profit off of the lives of children. As for me, my interest is the safety of the children. I do not view this as a political issue. I view this as a humanitarian issue. I assure you, my motives are the highest and best. I want the children protected. So I want to tell you some of what I witnessed personally at the Pomona Fairplex. I saw vulnerable indigenous children from Guatemala who speak Mayan dialects and cannot speak Spanish. That means they cannot ask for help in English, they cannot ask for help in Spanish. They become captives of their sponsors. I have sat with case managers as they've cried to tell me the horror of what has happened to children as they make the journey to this country. I saw apartment buildings where 20, 30, and 40 unaccompanied minors have been released. I saw sponsors trying to simultaneously sponsor children from multiple ORR sites at one time. I saw sponsors using multiple addresses to obtain sponsorships of children.
Yep.
And I saw numerous cases of children in debt bondage, and the child knew they had to stay with the sponsor until the debt was paid.
Yep.
Realizing that we were not offering the children the American dream, but instead putting them in modern-day slavery with wicked overlords was a terrible revelation. A terrible revelation. These children are a captive victim population with no access to law enforcement or knowledge of their rights. They are extorted, abused, neglected, and that is why I blew the whistle in 2021. I witnessed firsthand the horrors of child trafficking and exploitation. My life will never be the same after what I saw, but I have hope because I'm counting on you. It's my hope that you'll take action to end this crisis, to safeguard the lives of these vulnerable children. People have asked me, what can be done? What would you suggest? Well, first, I think HHS's #1 priority is oversight. They must commit to oversight, transparency, and accountability. If I could wave a magic wand, this, I believe, could be quickly solved by experts in the IG community. There is a Pandemic Analytics Center of Excellence, or the PACE as we call it. I believe if data analysts at the PACE could look at the data, children could be rescued, criminals could be prosecuted. If the PACE had access to this data, it shows where the children are and who has them. I think also.
All right, let's pause right there. Y'all heard her say that, okay? Y'all heard her say, hold on. Y'all heard her say that with the data, they know exactly where these children are located if they had access to this data. The children that Alice speaks of is children, once again, they are not from here. They are not from the United States of America. That Shamar likes to put out of America. I graduated at 18, and yeah, Iran. If y'all got beef with me, come over here because we ain't going. You really don't want to mess with me. You really don't want to mess with me, Iran. I'm Shamar. Boy, y'all, when I seen that shit, I said, damn, Shamar got beef with Iran. Oh, shit. All right.
Bruh.
So, the children, they're not from here, all right? So, I want y'all to understand that, okay? So, these stories that y'all hear Allie talk about, is it her story? Or is it someone else's story?
as well as what they can get out of you while you're alive. Then there's the situation of your body can be ground up and used as meat. There is the they have coined it the term hufu, like tofu, but hufu. It is the equivalent of human tofu substitute, and it's human flesh. And you can look that up right now. That is happening. But many people don't see that because this is my story, and I understand it's a lot to fathom. So I thank you for listening.
The question that everybody have for you, Allie, how did you make it out? You never tell that story. You never tell when you was trafficked to Russia and when you was brought back to the United States. You never tell us how you got back to the United States. You never tell us how you got back to Riverside, California. It's always when you leave and go somewhere to the presidents or you been trafficked in these tunnels and all this shit, somehow your ass end up back in California. Not in Texas. You don't end up in Tennessee. Your ass don't end up in Florida, in New York. None of that shit. So for some odd reason, you end back up in Riverside, California. Make that make sense. I'm serious, y'all. I'm not here to tear down Allie Carter, Tory Outlaw. I'm not here for that. I'm here to break down the stories and call out the blueprint that they put out. That's what I'm doing. Question, Allie, how did you get back to California?
I thank you for sharing, and I thank you for just opening your heart to try to hear it, because it's not easy to take in. It's not easy to realize that it's happening all around you, everywhere. There is not a place that this is not happening. Every state, every country, this is happening everywhere, and it's been going on for decades. And everybody can't see that because it's been so. There's a huge distraction. Mainstream media, they distract you with race and division. They distract you with gas prices. They distract you with corrupt administration.
Y'all, can I say this? Oh, shit. Sorry, Allie. I'm sorry, y'all. This has to be said. Last time I checked, if you was part of this so-called trafficking, Allie, don't do your traffickers, do they mark you because you are their property now? Do they mark you with a tattoo? I completely forgot about that, y'all. I do apologize. Do your traffickers, do they mark you so they can know who you are? Because when you are being trafficked, they don't call you by your name. They don't call you by your birth name. Oh, shit. Is that why Shelly gave you Allie Carter?
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
Traffickers do not call you by your birth name. They mark you and give you a name. And y'all, please pay attention to what Great Vibes is saying. Did Shelly give you a name? Allie Carter, not Tory Outlaw. She taught you how to hate your birth name and gave you a name to which you fall in love with. That's what traffickers do. Shelly, are you a trafficker?
Bruh.
They distract you with whatever they can to create this division, so you're not paying attention, but all roads lead to trafficking. They do these things and it becomes a addiction. It becomes a sick habit that they can't stop.
Can you tell me who are consuming those children?
elite celebrities. Everybody is so worried about
Bruh, 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 bruh.
You full of shit. You full of Yep.
Bruh.
Okay.
the top, but there are so many people on the bottom and in the middle. Your everyday people, your trash pickup.
Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all, so wrong with y'all. Amy just dropped in the chat. Allie Carter watched the movie Taken 200 times. This do sound like a script from Taken. But even from Taken, when his daughter was kidnapped out, I think they was in London somewhere up, I don't know, can't remember the city. Her friend was kidnapped by a photographer and was auctioned out. She was sold out. Never heard from again. To where it took her father to go out there to get some intel, inside information, move around to actually find his daughter to bring her back to the U.S. Allie, who went over there to make moves with the Russian mob bosses to release you? Because I said this on my TikTok. The last time I checked, they don't deal with black women. Not like that. Let me say that again. Russians don't deal with black women. I just want you to understand that.
Up your sports, your everyday people. This is not just about elite celebrities. Everybody wants to have their noses in elite celebrities' business because they feel like this is just going to be this is just this. And everybody's so concerned about the person that I go to their concert and the person that I have their poster, and that's not it. My family was no one special.
So if anyone can be part of
Yes.
this, how come we never heard anything about it? If Trashman can get it, maybe I can get it.
hmm Anyone can get into this life.
Because many people would think, oh, that's illegal. That's very easy to get caught. We gotta have heard stories, right? There is no way we don't hear anything about it. So what happened?
Well, you see it with people that are, you'll hear about it. There are articles and things that come out with finding. I know there was one recently in Georgia where they found 90 children in a home being trafficked in an everyday suburb home. There were 200 children that came off of a container ship in Long Beach. You hear about these things, but these things are suppressed and silenced because no one wants the truth to come out there. No one can fathom the truth. People don't want to cause mass panic and mass hysteria. They don't want to do that, so they hush it. And the system is rigged.
But you was on the container to Russia. How did you get back, Allie? How did you get back?
The entire system is rigged, from the court systems, the police systems. The systems are rigged. Mainstream media, it's rigged so that no one knows the truth.
So stories happen out there, we just didn't look for it, and the media didn't try to make that the main narrative. Okay. All right. So you have also mentioned before that you have been to Hollywood celebrity parties, right? And can you tell us what those parties are like? Like how do they work? Who are there? What do they do?
It depends. I've been to elite parties where they're having orgies. They bring children into these parties. I was 14, 15. They bring children into
Bruh.
Allie, at the beginning of this video, you just said that you was at the house from 3 months to around 15. You said you ran away from home at 15. How in the hell was you at these elite orgies, these freakouts, at 14? Okay.
To the parties, they have orgies where there are sometimes more than 10 people, more than 30 people having sex at a time. I have been to elite festival parties where sex machines, multiple stations where people can fulfill their sick fetishes, whether that is drinking a child's blood, and I mean literally cutting someone and watching their blood come out and catching it like you are drinking out of a chocolate fountain. It's sometimes drug parties where they test drugs on children, tie them to walls, tie them to post to have sex with them. So it depends on what they do, but they do a lot of evil things.
I see. So some children survive these kind of parties, some don't. All right.
Exactly.
I'm kind of curious about the lifestyle of these children who are involved in this kind of things like you, right? So you went to school, right? And how does this work? How do they decide who gets to go to school, who stay underground, or
In my time, I went to school, but I wasn't really at school. By the time that I got to high school, I had a education of a fifth grade child, maybe 10 years old, 11 years old. I loved being at school, but I could never be there peacefully. By the time that I was with my pimp who was taking me to elite parties, he was, because I was in foster care and I was in the government system, he let me stay. As long as I came with him, he paid off my foster parents. He walked into my home, my foster home one day, and sat down with my foster dad, paid him off, and they let me leave out of the front door.
Hey! I'm Allie's pimp. Everybody get on the floor. Get y'all ass down. Allie, come here. Don't you say a motherfucking word. Hey, Enrique! You know what it is. Allie! Hashimanaragido! You never seen me. You take that cash, you shut the hell up. You never seen me. Hashimanaragido do that, Akira.
Bruh.
They kept the garage open at night. Even though it was showing up that I was supposed to be at school, my pimp had someone who worked in my schools. And the recording system that calls you and tells you that your child is tardy or your child wasn't at school today, that was, someone was strategically placed to make sure that no one was calling my foster home and no one was calling my social worker. Eventually, I wasn't in school. That's why I went to so many high schools. I wasn't in school.
Y'all, listen, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. 30-second break. Y'all, listen, y'all. I need 30 seconds right now. Because what I just heard here, the pimp paid off her foster, the guy, the dude. The pimp took her with them, but she still was able to go to 19 other different high schools. I need 30 seconds. This shit ain't making no sense. How the fuck he come take your ass and your ass was still able to go to 19 damn different high schools? Mama! Mama! She went to 19 of them while she was with the pimp. I should be the guy who you should know I should be y'all, I need 15 more seconds. You can't make this shit up. She put hashtag gooder. You cannot make this shit up. You can't. You can't. She said grape eyes to nut. You can't make this shit up. Do y'all want me to do the scene where she got where her pimp kicked down the door to her foster home? Do y'all want me to do that scene one more time? Yes or no? Do y'all want me to do that scene one more time? All right, Southern said yes. I gotta play the video first. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, you can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. You cannot make this up. Like, for real. You can't make it up. All right. Hold on.
Come out and catching it like you are drinking out of a chocolate fountain. It's sometimes drug parties where they test drugs on children, tie them to walls, tie them to posts to have sex with them. So it depends on what they do, but they do a lot of evil things.
I see. So some children survive these kind of parties, some don't.
Exactly.
All right. I'm kind of curious about the lifestyle of these children who are involved in this kind of things like you, right? So you went to school, right? And how does this work? How do they decide who gets to go to school, who stay underground, or?
In my time, I went to school, but I wasn't really at school. By the time that I got to high school, I had a education of a 5th grade child, maybe 10 years old, 11 years old. I loved being at school, but I could never be there peacefully. By the time that I was with my pimp who was taking me to elite parties, because I was in foster care and I was in the government system, he let me stay. As long as I came with him, he paid off my foster parents. He walked into my foster home one day and sat down with my foster dad, paid him off, and they let me leave out of the front door.
Everybody down! Get your ass down on the motherfucking floor. Get your ass down. Ellie! Who is that? Who laughing? Shut that baby up. Smell like a noodle. Yeah. Take this money. Take it. Well, damn. Take it. Like y'all do they got it. Yeah, God. Come on. Who is that? Who is got down on the motherfucking floor? Don't y'all say a motherfucking word. She coming with us. God damn it. If you call the police, I'm gonna pew, 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 pew. Oh shit. You can't make this up, man. You can't make it up. You can't make it up, man. You can't make it up.
They kept the garage open at night. Even though it was showing up that I was supposed to be at school, my pimp had someone who worked in my schools. And the recording system that calls you and tells you that your child is tardy or your child wasn't at school today, someone was strategically placed to make sure that no one was calling my foster home and no one was calling my social worker.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
So you mean to tell me that her pimp had someone from the Board of Education that was on this payroll? Let me hear this story one more time.
That calls you and tells you that my pimp had someone who worked in my schools. And the recording system that calls you and tells you that your child is tardy or your child wasn't at school today, someone was strategically placed to make sure that no one was calling my foster home and no one was calling my social worker. Eventually, I wasn't in school.
Bruh, 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 bruh.
Listen, let me ask y'all. Is I'm wrong for doing this? Y'all, listen, y'all. I was called wrong. I have people cussing me out in my comment section in the videos that I've dropped, saying that I'm wrong. Who's paying me to do this? I don't care about the children. Are we listening to the same thing? Y'all mad at me? It's because I'm not believing these bullshit ass stories. Now that y'all are taking the time out to listen, do it make sense? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find something. That's not it. but I'm crazy.
multiple times. I was sold to Joe Biden multiple times. Um, I went from the Buckingham Palace to under the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. And everybody is so worried about the elite. And we could give those names of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. We know about Michelle Obama, that's a man. We know about Too Short. We know about Akon and Steven Tyler. And we can give those names all day. And everybody is so worried about that. But what you should be worried about is the people that are in between, the people that go as low as your grave diggers. I was trafficked to people within my schools. I was trafficked in underground tunnels that link under your schools, through your cemeteries, under your amusement parks, through Universal Studios, and into Hollywood elite homes all over the place, all over the world.
So the names that you just mentioned, Barack Obama, Steven Tyler, Joe Biden, Michelle Obama, have you had personal sexual experiences with these people?
Yes.
That's why I went to so many high schools. I wasn't in school. When I was a child, I was being beaten, raped, and abused so much that I was never really at school. I had, my name was in a school. I was enrolled into a school, but I was never really there. That's not always the case for everybody. Everything is different. It's different for every survivor. Some survivors may just stay with their pimp, drop out of school completely, and have to stay where they are. Sometimes I've been taken to a job where we went over the Mexico border, and because they had so many kids, they divvied them out depending on where they were going. So if you were crying too much, you went to somewhere underground and you stayed there. If you were already sick, and they're going to sell you to somebody who has AIDS or who somebody.
No, woman. No, young lady, you're not finna speed past that. Like you just didn't say what I thought you just said.
So if you were crying too much, you went to somewhere underground and you stayed there. If
They take you across the Mexico border. Y'all, I can't fathom. I can't fathom all of this. This is a lot. This is a lot. That's what my brain feels like right now. Like,
you were already sick, and they're going to sell you to somebody who has AIDS or somebody who has some type of disease where they're dying anyway, so you're dying anyway, and they feel like they're just going to sell you to them.
Hold on. Wait a minute. How do wait. How do these people know, the traffickers know, that someone may or may not have AIDS? So now we're dealing with medically trained professionals to know if your ass got AIDS. So what they'll do is they'll call up somebody. Hey, by the way, do you have AIDS? Because I know you about to be dead anyway, so I got a child for you. So hell, y'all can die together. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's a fraction of the price. It's 75% off. We run the sale. Yeah. The baby is 3 months old. Yeah. Black baby. Yeah, no hair. Okay. Yeah, look, it's a little bit malnourished, so 75% off, we'll give it to you. All right, hell, you about to die, the baby about to die. You good with that? All right, meet us at the drop. That's right, Southern. That is facts. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh man, y'all, I'm having fun with this. I'm sorry. Amy says she needs to be very careful because that's the slander as well as defamation of character. Allie and Shelley can be sued. You are absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. You say we're like big lots. You get a deal. You're doggone right, you get a deal. Just to let y'all know, I'll be live over here tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. And Friday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. We're going to do it like that from now. All right, so when I get my TikTok account back, we're going to go live on both channels at the same time. That way we can get that mass following base from over there and move them over here. And the little bit of followers we are building up over here, y'all can come over there to TikTok, all right? But that's where the majority of my content is. All right, let's go.
If you're not fighting back, they'll put you within escort services, dress you up and make you look like an adult, and nobody asks us any questions. For me, I was with my pimp. I wasn't with my trafficker. Pimps, Johns, and traffickers, 3 different things. So I was with my pimp. He told me, do what I say. If you do what you're supposed to do, we'll get married. He had other girls, other kids in his possession, but it was a competition at all times. And I did whatever I had to do, whether that was telling on them, putting them in danger, telling on what maybe if they tried to leave or if they tried to do something, I would tell on them so that way I could stay in his good grace. So I became very close to him. By the time I was 15, I had a very expensive wedding ring on, a few of them that my adopted mom now smashed several times in the middle of the street because she didn't understand why I was coming home with bruises or coming to visitation or visits with her. And I'm telling her I'm married now at 15. I had bruises at one point.
What is it about the age of 15? Because once again, she just said she got married. She got married at 15. Elite orgies. She was trafficked to Russia and got married all at the age of 15. Oh, I'm sorry. And she fucked presidents, allegedly. All at the age of 15. LA, you petty as hell. Because YouTube don't have it and only TikTok has it, you petty. Thank you so much for the hand hearts. Are y'all starting to see now? Are y'all starting to understand what I'm doing? Are y'all seeing a pattern here? Right?
He cracked my ribs for talking back and doing something that I wasn't supposed to do, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. At the time, I didn't.
Patricia, don't be asking about no damn marriage certificate. Who are you to ask about a marriage certificate?
Wait. What the hell? Get up. Get up a little tempo. Can't tell me quickly. I don't know what's going on with you. You listen.
That's the marriage certificate right there. Y'all know marriage certificates are public records. You can pull that. So if you're in California or you want to find out if she got married, just oh my goodness, you can't make this shit up.
See anything wrong with it. I just thought, this is my husband. This is my boyfriend. I'm supposed to do what he says. Um, and there were many times where everybody knew, but no one did anything. So I stayed very close to him until he auctioned me to Russia, and I ran from him as well.
I see. I see. These children that have been trafficked, there were lots of them missing every year. And people know there's this thing called Amber Alert, right? So they don't get lots of messages from Amber Alert. Do you know what's wrong with that?
I do. If you look up who owns Amber Alert, that is John Podesta and the Rothschild. There are 13 dark Illuminati bloodlines, and they have created this system called Amber Alert. You have to think that how many times do you get one of those? But if you look up online where you are right now, how many children are missing in your area? How many children have been gone in your area? And then how many Amber Alerts do you receive? They put out certain ones, and usually some of those are in your face telling you what somebody is ordering. Those are lies. Some of them, some people have said, oh, well, we have found the child, but where are the rest of them? If you go into the stores, you'll see sometimes a wall of children that they're usually the same weight. The standard trafficking weight, like 104 to 115. I was never allowed to go under 114 ever. I would be beat. They would take food away from me. I was never allowed to move a certain weight. So when I finally got with my mom that adopted me, I got really fat, side note, but I tried to.
You got fat because allegedly you was pregnant. Stop lying. Please just stop lying. It wasn't because you was eating good and she was making you full course meals after all these Russian trips. All these Russian trips and dealing with these celebrities, she got to make sure that you eat good. No, allegedly your ass got pregnant. Stop lying.
To use dark humor. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but
It's
this
right.
is what I do to cope.
It's
Sorry.
a defense mechanism.
Yes. Yeah, it's the only thing I got, or I'll sit in a corner and cry.
Same as me.
Yeah, thank you. So see, you're not alone. But yeah, there's a situation with Amber Alert where you have to look at how many times do you get a weather alert for a flood in your area, or a snowstorm or a sandstorm coming. You should be getting the same amount of alerts for children, and you don't. And that's when you have to ask the question, why not? Why aren't we notified when someone is missing from our area? Why can't we help look for them? People put up lost dog flyers more than they do for children. Why is that? Amber Alert to me is a scam. And for the things that I know, some of my pimps used to tell me that they had to go or they had to start moving because when an Amber Alert came through.
Did y'all catch that too? Now she said, some of my pimps. How many pimps did you have? Because you just said that you married your pimp. Now you just said some of your pimps. I want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Some of my pimps used to tell me that they had to go or they had to start moving because when an Amber Alert to me is a scam. And for the things that I know, some of my pimps used to tell me that they had to go or they had to start.
Are y'all understanding what's going on here? She said she married her pimp. Where the hell these other pimps come from? Allie Carter, where the hell did these other pimps come from?
Start moving because when an Amber Alert came through, it was a signal. It's an order. Somebody will say there is a 4-year-old baby missing. They've been put in a blue Toyota. This is the license plate for it. The names of the person that took them is so-and-so. Sometimes that is an order right in your face that comes to your phone to tell you that there is a 4-year-old baby on their way to so-and-so. It's almost like a cushion for the public. Because in a million years, did you think that you would ever be looking up the fact that people are eating human flesh? There is something called Bite Lab that is out now, and Ellen DeGeneres was selling her blood so that she could put it into a steak, and so people can eat it and consume her blood. This is something that
Allie, ma'am, you just don't know when to stop.
that's not new. This is just something that they're bringing to your attention now because it's been in the dark for so long. So to me, Amber Alert is a cushion for people to feel better, like, oh, we're doing something, or oh, we know. And in reality, they're the ones guilty. You'll notice on mainstream media, people will talk about it, they'll bring you right up to it, but they'll never do a segment again. Look how many times people speak on COVID, but you don't hear people speak on child trafficking the same way, missing children the same way. This is not just something that's happening to foster children. This is something that is happening to all children. I think it's a scam.
All right. So when you say it's a signal, what do you mean exactly? Like, do you have to move because this area is kind of hot for you to stay in? All right.
Exactly.
I see.
Your pimps will get up, my pimps would get up and move and say, we have to go, we have to leave the area right.
Who are these pimps? She married her pimp. It went from one pimp to multiple pimps.
Right now. It's also a pickup sometimes. There's a 4-year-old, there's a 6-year-old, there's a 15-year-old, and they've been headed eastbound in a blue car. This is the license plate. It's telling a trafficker that you're looking for this blue car headed eastbound, because sometimes they can't text each other and just say, hey, I'm picking up a kid that's 15-year-old for sex. They can't do that. Sometimes they do it, but they can't do it all the time, depending on what level they are, whether they're elite, whether they're everyday people, whether there's someone with just a credible suit. They can't, some people just don't outright say it. So this kind of signals them to do what they need to do.
But
Allie, when it comes to that part of the world, when you're caught up in that particular lifestyle, they know how to move bodies. The communication doesn't change. They have a chain of command also. So what the fuck is you talking about? Depending on who you are, that's the type of communication you're going to get on your cell phone. They operate one way.
it sounds like it doesn't make a lot of sense, because why would they do that publicly? It's better to do it privately, right? Using your phones, like.
She's home. The reason why it doesn't sound right or doesn't make sense because she's lying.
Cryptid channels. I'm not quite getting it.
They do things privately, but everything is in your face. There's things that are done publicly. There are things that are done. There are rituals that go on. I'm sorry, we're going to talk about rituals, but there are things that go on during concerts.
All right, y'all. That's going to be enough for today's. Let me ask y'all a question. I have to ask this. Was I wrong for doing this on today? Looking at the video, well, we looked at several. Was I wrong for doing this? Looking at the videos, breaking them down, actually listen to what she's saying, and just calling her out on it. Because in the same video, she changed her story 4 times. But she's on, now once he questioned her, like, wait a minute. First you said this, now you're saying this. He didn't do that. But I do want to say this. Everybody that came out, we had a crowd today. You know, I can deal with 20 people over here. But y'all, this channel is going to get even better, even gooder, even gooder, even gooder. I want to give a shout out to my moderator, Southern Mother of Dragons. If y'all can, y'all please follow her YouTube account over here. She have great content. But also follow her on TikTok as well. Also, if you haven't followed my TikTok account, follow same handle, Great Vibes on 10. Follow me over there. But we're going to try to start pushing a lot of lives over here more so we can get more people over here to this channel so we can expose these two, Allie Carter, Shelly Carter. We can. It's too many people. You said now where's the sound? Oh, okay. It's too many people that have got caught up over these individuals, these lovers, the handler, the pimp, the one that she's married to. Shelly, what happened to Allie when she was 19? We'll talk about that on tomorrow. I wanted to show y'all the video because it's going to be easier when I show y'all this paperwork on tomorrow. All right? Okay. Southern Mother, Randy, thank you so much for coming through. Amy, LA, of course. Everybody, Patricia, all of y'all, thank y'all so much for coming by, listening to your boy Great Vibes on 10 for the win. She said, where's the baby, Tori? Tori, where's the baby? They asking questions. Where's the baby? Where's the baby? Shelly, where's the baby? Who's the baby daddy? Who's the baby daddy? See, y'all gotta know what questions to ask. All right. Other than that, man, listen, thank y'all again. We're gonna y'all listen. If y'all have anything on these two, feel free to send it to DM me the information, okay? Please feel free to do that. Don't hide back anything. Don't be afraid to speak out. These two, they will sit around and try to manipulate the minds of many, but do not be fooled by these two at all. Okay? Learn how to be steadfast in your own self. Don't be persuaded by people to where it's going to cost you your insanity. It's going to cost you possibility your life, or it's going to cost the lives of the people that's around you by you carrying back this venom and you spreading out on your end, okay? If you see bullshit and people are getting taken advantage of, call it out. That's what I'm doing. I'm not afraid. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not afraid at all. Allie, she called me out, and I'm glad she called me out. So now that she called me out, I'm finna have my foot on both of their necks, and I'm not going to let up. All right? This your boy Great Vibes on 10 for the win. Thank y'all so much for coming by and spending time with your boy GV. I love you all.